Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Butterfly Spirit 314. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off here. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what happened to me recently. I don't know why this Hollywood stuff is popping up. I think it's annoying as shit. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about what happened to me with my 1992 Honda Accord LX. So this is what my car looks like here. And I love my car. It's like so much of like my favorite car. It's my first car and I love it. This is what it looks like on the side here. And it's just really cool. So if I were to click on this video, this is like somebody's video. This is like the back of the car, but I love it. I scrolled down here and I saw somebody was selling a 1992 Honda Accord LX, and what I found out was that car sold, and I'm not surprised because the gas mileage, like if you put like $15 worth of gas in that car, it'll last for several days, you know, depending on where you're driving, but it lasts for a pretty long time. That's what I love about my car. So that's something I really love. So what I wanted to do was I want to share with you guys what happened to me recently with my center pipe that's under my car. Okay, so I think what will help is giving you guys some sort of a picture of being under like a car with like the catalytic converter, the center pipe, the muffler, so you guys can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to Google, and then I'm gonna go here, and then I'm gonna search here for it. So under car map of muffler system. Okay, so the reason I want to give you guys a pretty good map of what's going on is so that you can kind of know what parts fit together, because I don't know very much about cars, but I kind of got it when somebody explained it to me. Okay, so this is a diagram here. Let's see if this is a bit better. Okay, so here we go. So this is a pretty good picture. Okay, so if you guys can see this, I'm trying to move my chair over so I can move. I think something is stuck on something. Hang on. Okay, now I can move the chair further. Okay, so as you guys can see, I'm not going to go over the whole exhaust system or muffler system, but you guys can kind of just see. So you may have looked at this already, but we're going to focus on three parts that are in this exhaust system. Okay, so here we have the catalytic converter. So under my car, this is what my converter happens to look like. As you can see in this picture, this is also a catalytic converter. Okay, so a catalytic converter is going to be more like a cylinder type of system. Okay, and who knows, other people's catalytic converters can probably look a little bit different. But this is what mine looks like. It looks kind of like, it looks a little like this one, but this is the shape. Okay, so this is the catalytic converter. I'm not sure if mine is a three-way or not, but that's what I understand this to be, is the converter. Okay, so the next pipe, the next part is going to be a pipe. So after the catalytic converter, so a catalytic converter is going to sit under, it's going to be behind your engine, okay, under your car. So probably under, like, if you're sitting in your driver's seat and passenger seat, like between those, under your car, like under your gear shift or your clutch, if you drive a stick shift, then under that is going to be your catalytic converter. That's what I can kind of tell from looking under my car. Okay, so and in this video I'm going to show you pictures and videos of what happened to me and describe specifically what happened, some things I noticed before it happened. Okay, so there's a pipe right here, and this says exhaust type B. So I'm not sure if that's really the name or not, but I do know after the catalytic converter, there is a pipe that connects at the end of the catalytic converter and then goes back. And this pipe is going to connect to the next pipe, okay? Now, they don't have the next pipe in here, but if you use your imagination, essentially, there's this pipe that I described, coming from the catalytic converter, that hooks in on the catalytic converter, or connects there, and goes to what we call the center pipe, okay? So the center pipe is going to be another pipe. So I wish I had another picture of what the center pipe looks like. So let's look at this picture, okay? So I moved pictures and I can go back to that picture, but this is kind of a good example. So catalytic converter, then we have this pipe, okay? Let's pretend this is just the type B pipe. And then here, this pipe right here that kind of makes a Z, right? That is going to be your center pipe. So the center pipe is going to be what broke off from my muffler, okay? And then the next part here, this pipe is actually a lot longer than you think. It's pretty long, and then this connects from the center pipe here and connects into the muffler, okay? And if for some reason, if any of this comes unloose from the catalytic converter or whatever, all of this is pipe. All of this is pipe here, with the exception of this being the muffler, okay? So I just watched a video about a guy whose friend worked at a factory that made mufflers, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I'll tell you guys how I ended up watching that in a bit. So all you really have to think about the fact is, oops, where in the world was that picture? All you have to think about is the fact that you got your catalytic converter, then you have the pipe that connects from the catalytic converter and connects to the center pipe. Then the center pipe itself, that's a pipe, right, that connects from that first pipe, right? The end of that first pipe, the center pipe is gonna run, okay? And then at the end of that pipe, you have to have a third pipe that's going to connect into the muffler. So that's why it's going to have this bent action in it. Like the other one that you saw had more of a Z type of pattern, okay? So that's what you have to kind of notice, that it has that bent section. So if for some reason, if anything in that system, any of those pipes breaks, you would have to go to a muffler shop, and I'm going to tell you how I got to that, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what happened to me. I'm going to show you some pictures. I'm going to have a couple of other videos where I'm going to show you how I ended up fixing, how I got like a little quick fix, and then how it ended up getting fixed, because at the time of this video, my muffler has been fixed, okay? It's already been fixed and everything, and so I didn't want to make a video until after I had it fixed, so I can kind of tell you guys the process, because a lot goes into this. It's not just you know, a quick fix that can get it fixed, because that quick fix is not going to last forever, okay? And so that's why immediately after that quick fix that I did, then you have to go to a shop. You have to go to a mechanic shop to get your car fixed. You have to, okay? So, on to what happened to me. And I don't even know how long has it been. How long has it been so far? Oh, it's been 8 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the first picture to kind of let you guys know what happened to me. Alrighty, so before I go and describe what happened to me, I'm going to go back to the picture of the 1992 Honda Accord, okay? So under this car, it may not look like it, but there is a good amount of space for somebody to crawl up under it, okay? And I'm a female climbing up under a car, and so, you know, it's kind of crazy. I don't know how guys get up under my car. My dad's been under my car, my brother's been under my car, my boyfriend's been under my car. I don't know how they get up and under that car. Like, I don't even know, especially if you don't have a lift. I mean, I know you would use like a jack or something to get it up. I didn't have a jack. So, I mean, there's a jack in my car, but I didn't want to deal with that. You know, what I wanted to do was I wanted to just go ahead and get it together. So I will tell you what happened to me. So, at nighttime, I was driving around, And I noticed that something that was under my car, because I was walking away from my car one day, actually on a couple of occasions at night, because I may be going to the store or other places, and I noticed that when I looked, when I walked away, I could kind of look and see under my car ways, and I looked under the car and I saw something. I saw some pipe that was kind of floating. It was floating, and it was but it was like under the car, and it was a pipe under the car that I could kind of see, and I was like, what is that pipe under there? I didn't know what it was. What I was looking at from a distance that I could see under my car was the center pipe, and it was kind of floating. It had come down a bit, and I've never seen that pipe before, and I was like, what on earth is that? And I didn't really trip off of it as many times that I saw it kind of floating, and I guess it came undone because I probably went under a pothole or two, and then it came down, but it didn't hit the ground just yet. So what happened is, recently I was coming back from the store with some groceries, and as I turned left onto a street that's close to my house, and it's like a really short street, and on the street you can enter in to the alleys behind my house or not. So I'm driving down this little street, and then I make a right turn onto my street. All right, and what happens? What happens is that I hear a little. I didn't hear anything, and then I heard a little tink 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 tink, and I was like, "What is that?" It was a little tink tink tink, and I was like, "Huh?" And something was. I've never heard that sound, and a little tink tink tink. That's not a normal sound that my car makes. So I was confused. So I parked my car in front of the house, and I didn't know what that was, and it was nighttime and stuff. So I went ahead and took the groceries into the house, came back outside, and I kind of bent down to kind of look and see what it was, and I saw that something had came down, and I saw something that looked like a hanging pipe, and I put my flash on, but I really couldn't see under the car, and it was nighttime, so I didn't want to find myself trying to look too far under the car, because it's nighttime, right? And it can be dangerous to do that. So I decided I would wait until morning to come back out and look at it. So the next afternoon, after that happened, I decided to go and look under the car and see what had happened. And I realized that I couldn't just bend down and look. I had to get down under the car and look. Now, as a female, it's pretty unusual for a woman to do that, as far as I'm concerned. I've never been under a car. I can get down low enough to see the tires, right, and kind of kneel and see them. But I haven't gotten under a car. I've gotten down to look under a car, kind of in a position like a push-up in a way, but never under it all the way. I've seen a coolant leak in my car that was fixed a long time ago. But other than that, I hadn't gotten under the cars. So I got down low enough, because when I bent down to see, it didn't, I couldn't see nothing. So then I got under the car, where my head was under it and stuff, and I was in a position where my legs were laid out on the ground, and I was under that car. And I'm going to show you what I saw and what the tink 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 was about. Probably guessed it is the center pipe though. So I'm going to show you what I saw. So when I got under the car, this is what I saw. And like I said, I got under this car, right? So this is exactly what I saw. So what this is this is the center pipe, okay? So I'm going to go back and show you what the center pipe is. Remember, we talked about this. So the center pipe is going to be that extra pipe, okay? So you see this right here? This is going to be the center pipe. There's 3 pipes that you have after the catalytic converter. Okay, so this is the pipe that was down, except mine just went long ways. So I'm gonna go back to the picture. Okay, so this is what I saw, and this was on the ground. The reason I ended up going outside and looking under the car anyway was because I was talking to a mechanic that a friend of mine recommended, and you know, my boyfriend's worked with him, I've worked with him. So what happened is I got under this car and saw it. I took the picture because I was taking pictures so I can send to the mechanic. Now, if you look up here, this is going to be the muffler pipe. So this going back is the muffler. Okay, if I go back too far, it's going to trigger just to change the picture. But yeah, so this is the muffler pipe. So as you can see, the center pipe is supposed to go all the way like this, but it's on the ground, and something must have caused it. And since I've been going to see my dad at the hospital, I mean, there is dips and stuff like that to go down into a parking garage and stuff, and that could have dislodged it as well. Okay, so the center pipe, this is not supposed to be on the ground. It's not supposed to be. If you look under your car and see that this is on the ground and you're going to be having a mechanic to fix it, I mean, some of you guys may be mechanical where you can. I'm not mechanical. I became mechanical. I became that way to try to get this off the ground. So I saw this, and I saw this pipe here. And then the next thing I saw was, you see this? This is that muffler pipe I was showing you, except I got it my flash on so I can kind of show you. So the muffler goes from here and goes on back. Okay. So I saw this. So I took this picture. Down here, this is that center pipe, and what happened is it broke off. It's clear in this picture that it broke off because you can see it's on the ground. Okay. So, and you may not be able to see it. That's okay. So the next thing, as you go forward, this is the other part of the center pipe that goes towards the catalytic converter. So as you can see, this is a very long center pipe. It's very long. And like I said, you see how it goes, got that L type of shape and stuff, or like a S type of shape, or that Z type of shape, like 1, 2, 3, like, you know, it's kind of like a curve. So this part can make an L, this part makes an L. Okay, so L, L, or L, L. So this pipe, so this is the further part, like I said, and you know, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I saw it was a little burnt here, but I didn't really see nothing wrong with it or whatever. A little bit of peeling here, a little rust, but I didn't see nothing as an issue. So when I saw this, I kind of thought, and I saw this part, I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. So maybe all they're going to have to do is weld it. Okay, that's what I thought, because in the past, my dad has had my muffler to be welded, and that was a quick fix. It was very easy. So I thought it was just going to have to be welded. Okay, so what I found out is that wasn't going to be the case, but I'm going to show you the video where you guys can see in real time what I saw under my car. The reason why I'm being very, very detailed in this video is for you girls and guys out there. It doesn't matter what your age is. If you have a car and you see the same thing I saw, you may be intimidated, you know, and you may not know what to do. And so me sharing my information is how I want to help you, especially for my ladies out there who don't know much about cars, because I don't know much about cars either, you know. And so, you know, I wanted to help, and I didn't have anybody who can kind of, you know, come and help me, and I wanted to kind of take it upon myself to try to fix it and stuff. So the mechanic told me to take pictures. So all the pictures I showed you, the 3 pictures, I sent to the mechanic. When I sent the mechanic the pictures, what he told me is that I needed to call O'Reilly and order the parts. That's what he told me. I'll tell you a little bit more about what he said. He said he thought that maybe I may need one kit, or I need another kit for the muffler, you know, from what the pictures showed, you know. But he said he'd have to see it in person. So I thought that meant that he was going to come out and look at my car. Okay. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to show you the video of what you see under my car. Okay. Let me turn this down. Leave it at 40. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play the video.
Muffler pipe back here, and this is the center part that connects to the muffler. And what happened is this part came unattached from here, or this from here. That part's the muffler. This is the center pipe here. So I already talked to a mechanic, and I'm going to be sending him some pictures of these two parts. They're supposed to fit together. I'm surprised this happened, but last night when I was coming home, I heard a ting, 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 ting. And so I guess this was dragging, or this part at the end was hitting the ground for me to hear. I was listening to some music, but luckily I can hear it. And so I looked under the car yesterday, and I could kind of last night, I could kind of see this, but I couldn't see this in detail. So this did break off, like the mechanic said. So I'm going to see if he can come out and kind of get this fixed for me. Guys, what I do want to tell you is that you may have the situation where your car may do exactly the same thing, where your muffler may come unloose from the center pipe. Okay, so it's important to kind of know that. This is the first time I've really kind of gotten into my car to kind of look and see what's going on. So that's the pipe, and that's the center pipe is on the ground right here with the black and white, and then the cracking here, and then there's the muffler pipe. I didn't touch the muffler because I don't want it to come unloose or whatever, but I'll show you the muffler. Oh, I bumped my head. I bumped my head on my car. So, here's my muffler back here. So the muffler, I don't know if the muffler came down. It's usually supposed to be a little bit higher, but it may be a little down here. So I want to let you guys know that during the winter time, the center part of your muffler may come down. It looks like it's down a little bit, but not very much. But I'm going to take a picture of this from the mechanic so you can kind of see real quick. This way I ain't got to come back outside because it's freezing. Oh, it's freezing out here. So let me get a flash. Click. There you go. So it's freezing out here, guys. What I want you to know is if you're driving your car and you have a muffler, like I do, I want you to know that your center pipe that's connected to your muffler can come loose. Now, if your car is modified and you don't have that type of muffler that will muffle the sound, then it may just be the situation, guys, where you just have a different modified muffler. You should have whatever kind of muffler that came with your car. Alright, guys, I had to come inside because it was really cold. My hands were like starting to feel like they were freezing, and to the point where like feels like the blood is uncomfortably flowing through my hand, like it's a lot of pressure for the blood to flow through my hand because of how cold it is out there. Anyway, like I was saying, you may run the risk with your muffler that the center pipe may break off from your muffler. Okay, that's why you kind of saw my muffler was a bit loose. However, one thing I want you to do is listen to your car, listen to the sounds it's making. I mean, you know, as you drive along, you know what sounds are normal for your car and what's not normal for your car. You know that, you know. So pay attention to the sounds. If you're new to having a car and, you know, you don't know much about the sounds, but this just happened to you, get familiar with the sounds that your car makes and things like that. The longer you drive your car, the more likely you're going to be to kind of know what's the right sound and what's the wrong sound. When I heard the tink, 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 tink when I was turning the corner to pull in front of the house, then I knew that wasn't normal. And I've never heard a tink, 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 you know. And I hear a lot of sounds in my car. I hear a ton of them. But not a tink, tink, tink. So if you hear a tink, 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 like that kind of sound under your car, what that is the center pipe, and it's bouncing up and down as you're driving, okay? What you don't want to do is drive with your car being like that, where your center pipe is on the ground and then your muffler is loose and stuff. You don't want to do that because you can run the risk of hitting a pothole, okay? And then that's just going to make a lot of things worse. Guys, I would advise you to get your muffler checked out. if you're a tech, if you're kind of a mechanical or a tech kind of person, you know, get under your car, look in the muffler, kind of see if it's attached pretty good. A few years ago, my dad did have a guy to weld those two parts together, and it worked. So I think the center pipe, I think it was pretty new, but I just think it just kind of came loose. So I'm gonna see how much the mechanic is gonna charge me. This is a guy that a friend of mine recommended, so I'm gonna see how much he'll charge. I can't drive the car in that condition, so he's gonna have to come to me. I did ask him if I could drive the car in that condition, and he didn't say anything because he's at a movie right now. So I don't think the mechanic is gonna be able to come out to tomorrow. Luckily, he's a mobile mechanic, so that'll help. Not sure how much he'll charge, but I hope he can get it done on the cheap for me, so I don't have to worry about this as much. I think my muffler's pretty good. It's a little rusty, but it's old, but it's dependable, so I think it's good. So guys, just be aware with your car. Listen to the sounds your car makes. Even if it's an old car, if it's a new car, I don't think your car should make any weird sounds, but you want to listen to your new car too, because you may get a car that you buy, and it could be a lemon, you know, that you drive off the lot from a car dealer, you know, and you may think, oh, it looks all shiny and new, but it may not necessarily be that way. One thing you want to watch out for is if you buy a used car, make sure that you get it checked out before you buy it, please. Please, please, please do that. But it's okay, guys, if you have a car now and it's your first car. Everybody gets duped the first time you buy a car. Everybody does. It just happens. It happened to me. Happened to my boyfriend. It happened to other people too. So just want you guys to know this could happen to you as well. I'm going to go ahead and get my phone charged. But before that, I'm going to send the mechanic these pictures so he can know what he's looking at. He specializes in working on the type of car I have. I have a 1992 Honda Accord. And so I'm sure he knows about the type of car because he works on.
Okay. All right. So you guys just kind of heard, what I was talking about. So, like I said, going towards the end of the video, you do not want to let your muffler, if it's loose, or your center pipe, if it's loose. It could be the part before the center pipe that comes loose, okay? But you do not want to drive around with your car having any type of looseness in that exhaust system. And what I meant about if you hit a pothole is that if you were to find out that your car has that type of issue that just came up. This could be in springtime, wintertime, fall, summer, whenever. It's a pain in the wintertime because it's like seriously cold outside, okay? And in the wintertime, you have to get stuff done when you can, okay? You got to get it done as soon as possible too because it's really cold and stuff. A lot of places will close early and stuff. And so you don't want to run the risk of thinking, oh, well, if my center pipe, just like what I showed you, here we go. So I'm gonna do this one. If your center pipe is down like this, and the continuation of that is like this, if your center pipe is on the ground, you can't continue to drive like this. You can't continue to do that. The reason why you can't drive like this is because this pipe is gonna bounce up and down, tink, 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 bounce up and down, right? And as you pull this is metal. So there's going to be sparks flying as you drive, okay? I've seen this in like old movies and stuff. But you cannot just let this lay on the ground because that can be a hazard. If you have oil or other types of fluid under your car, you don't want your car to catch fire. So you don't want to leave this on the ground. Please do not do that. And please take everything I'm saying, seriously, especially with your car, because if you let this center pipe or whatever pipe, or if the muffler is on the ground, if you just let that sit on the ground, guess what? The more you drive on it, letting it sit there like that, the more money it's going to cost you because you just let it sit down there. And I know that a lot of you guys may not know this. You may not know. You may be like me and you're like completely clueless. Or you don't know what's wrong with your car, but you see a floating pipe under your car and you like, what's that? I never seen that before, right? Just like I was. Well, what you want to do is you want to get under your car and take a look at it. If you're by yourself, You can take a look. If you need someone else to get under your car and look, ladies, that's okay too. I would say, ladies, get under the car, kind of look yourself, because then in the future, if you see this same situation again, you know what you got to do. You know what I mean? I know that for me, since my muffler is fixed now, and I'm gonna have a part 2 and part 3 to this video I plan on having. But if you see this in the future, you know what to do. You know, one thing that kind of encouraged me throughout this whole process is my mom having to go through the process I did, and I'm glad that that you know that I kind of followed the feelings that I had. It's in my genetics and stuff like that. I'm glad I followed that and took it very seriously. So, like I said, do not let this sit on the ground. If your muffler is on the ground, don't let that sit on the ground. Okay, don't do that. If you see this, you're gonna know that your center pipe is broke off from your muffler. If you see your muffler on the ground, but you see your center pipe up, your muffler probably broke off from your center pipe. Okay. There's a lot of potholes that are in the road. I didn't believe my boyfriend about that, but now I do. With all of them I've seen that I've been like driving over and totally not knowing. And I think it was a pothole that probably caused this, with me driving over so many of them. And so I try to avoid the potholes now, and I really do. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to explain a little bit about that. As you can see, there's like leaves and little little piney things that's on the ground and stuff like that, little rocks and stuff under here. But in order to get these pictures, I had to get them to the mechanic and stuff. And I'll talk more about the mechanic and stuff like that and what happened with them in my next video. But this is part 1 of this video of my center pipe breaking off from my muffler. What to do, part 1. So that's the end of this video. Feel free, guys, if you want to comment on this video, feel free. If you're a mechanic, if you're somebody who's new to this, maybe this happened to you, maybe it hasn't happened, you have some questions or concerns about it, you can feel free to comment below this video. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I'm going to have a part 2 and part 3, because it's not enough for me to just leave it here and just say I got it fixed. That's not enough. You guys need more information, especially if this happens to you. Okay. This particular repair can cost in the $800s, $900, $1,000 or more. So this is why it's important to pay attention to this, because this could turn into a more serious repair if you just let this sit on the ground. Or you let your muffler sit on the ground, or the pipe before this sit on the ground. You know what I mean? Or, I was told that your catalytic converter could have been stolen, so that's one of the reasons this pipe could be on the ground too. So, there's little things you want to be checking for, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in my next video, okay? And I plan on posting that pretty soon. So, this has been Butterfly Spirit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am going to continue the conversation on this in another video for you guys to watch. And, feel free to like the video to let me know if it's been helpful. All right.